Picture this. The year is sometime in the 1800s. You're standing there outside of your house looking out at your beautiful 1800s related lawn. Exactly. Perfect for the time period you're in, while staring at your vast lawn. A single thought crosses your mind. The thought of, yeah, fuck it, LMAO, let's put a gnome there. Your name is Philip Griebel. Philip Griebel. Which brings me to my next point. Originality. It's 2025. You think of a cool new thing and you go to look it up, see that not only has someone already done it, but millions have already done it as well and shared their own experiences. So what does that leave you to do? That's completely right, little Jimmy in the back here, you little shit. You do it anyway, because why not add to the absolute dumpster fire that is originality? Halflifealyx. A game about a person has to save their father with the help and walkthrough of this game's version of Bane.
Guys, the thermal drill!
Wait, hang on, that actually makes a lot of sense. That's the actual story. Halflifealyx is a game about a person who loves to break bottles. 11 out of 10, this game is fucking insane.
Your feelings changed like the weather. Went from clear to gray. All that time of day. How can I go on with a cup all in a palm? Love's so hard to find when someone's on your mind. Listen, baby, your wish is my command. Baby, won't you understand that your wish is...
So we start off like any other playthrough of this game by being taken away by its absolutely beautiful landscape. Also, my left hand doesn't work for some fucking reason, I don't know. It's telling me something. Let me get... Push to move, huh? Wakey. After about 2 hours for me and only half a second for you, it was finally time to progress this story. Not much happens in the start of Halflifealyx besides for its absolutely gorgeous storytelling that, you know, I didn't even have to focus on that because I don't really care. But there is a window that you can write on. That's very cool, game. Thank you. After what I would call a very involving door opening, twice by the way, it was finally time to get started with this game. Or at least it would have been for literally anybody that isn't an underdeveloped caveman like me. A little later, this lady here wanted to talk to me about something, but I honestly couldn't care. I had bigger fish to fry.
Look at the pigeon. Hello.
After possibly fat shaming a pigeon and watching this guy horribly insult himself, honestly, dude, it doesn't have to get to that. It gets better. The same lady from the window I blatantly ignored decided she wanted to try and make amends with me. Or at least, I think it was that. I don't know, I wasn't listening. Like at all. But finally, it was time. Time for me to eat a piece of bread. Wait. What was this video about again? Oh, the gnome, that's right. So after eating a piece of bread and f***ing with someone's antennas because, you know, why not? I tried to return home only to watch my own father, Eli, get viciously electrocuted and taken away. Feeling alone in not being electrocuted and taken away, I take it into my own hands and hope that pressing this button enough will short circuit the entire elevator and fry me to death. Or I can get this really big guy to do it instead. Waking up in that neighborhood's friendly white van, I try to warn them about the oncoming drone strapped with 240 pounds of C4. But instead of listening to me, one of the guys decided to look under his seat for a miscellaneous red light that has nothing to do with the story of Halflifealyx. Whilst investigating this guy's incredible form, I get handed an Xbox 360 mic to communicate with the rest of the party chat. That's right, I brought up the Xbox 360, sue me! And yet I'm still reminded of why VR has to be one of the greatest inventions since the renowned Call of Duty Black Ops 2 transit zombie map that everybody fucking loves, and if you don't, frankly, I don't want you here. I stopped briefly on my way to meeting up with Russell to save my own dad just so I could play in a fucking playground.
Whee!
I'm a fully grown adult that is currently trying to put on a witch hat. That's what we call them in Australia. After indulging one of my deepest desires of stealing a fucking witch hat without getting a federal crime and $60,000 in debt, I ultimately watch as Russell's drone gets absolutely fucking annihilated off of the face of the earth. I can't say that with a straight face. He died the way he lived. Being a drone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. After that, Russell goes over his plan to save my father, also known as Eli, as I gracefully, yet again, get distracted by a fourth wall break. Look, the TV is showing that I have a fork in my hand. And on my way to grab the Russells, I noticed something that has never been noticed by anyone who's ever played this game, ever. These are just 2 microwaves. You're gonna kill me. And after getting exposed to a radiation level that makes Chernobyl look like a regular fucking banana in a fruit bowl, I then use my newly formed genetic mutations to grab a bottle from far away and throw it at some birds. Or at least I try to.
One more time. Target. You've got it. Try catching it.
Nope. That.
That's it. Perfect. We're done.
Now hear me out. Russell's a really smart man. Don't get me wrong. He knows a lot of smart stuff. He does a lot of smart things and says smart things as well. Yep. Hands me a gun. And then proceeds to give me a full magazine, which I put to good use, not shooting directly into his window trying to kill him. Ready? Oh my god.
Hey, that's my window. Watch it.
And now, all jokes aside, it's finally time to start this video. Finally, only after, it's like 6 minutes, we can finally start talking about what's happening in this video. I'm taking the gnome from right here to the end of the game. Yep, that's it. Originality, like I said. So here are the rules, just to make sure we're all in line with it. Rule number 1. Get the gnome to the end of the game. Alright, good. I hope that clears it up. Let's start. The gnome and I board a train that is meant to take us to Eli, but unfortunately it gets stopped. I make good use of this time with the train being stopped to briefly give the gnome the concept of death and what will happen to it the second it starts to annoy me. That will be you one day. Frankly, the gnome's already starting to piss me off and I will stop at nothing to remind this gnome of this, no matter what. The gnome gets thirsty, as all gnomes do, so I politely give him a drink and then kick his ass and feed him to the barnacles. Show him what for. Now I'm trying to solve the first puzzle, so I'll leave the gnome outside because, you know, I'm not gonna carry it. And this gives us access to the quarantine zone. How scary. The gnome and I eventually come across our very first zombie. My initial idea was to not kill the head crab on its head, to only remember that this isn't a nerd fuel video, and that's not even the point of this fucking video. Arriving at the subway station, I subtly used the gnome as a lookout to make sure there's no zombies around. I make quick work of the zombies standing around in the station and come across a supply pack and break it open the only way I know how. Oh, would you look at that? Look at the time down there. Wow, we're not even into the meaty part of this game. It's not even anywhere near the fucking middle, and we've already been playing for this long. So let's get a hurry up on this, and let me skip past a lot of things that happen because it is quite boring. Hey, you didn't come here for the story, or at least I fucking hope not, because there's definitely a lot of other places you could have went. Anyway, I used the gnome as a crowbar. Shocker, it doesn't work. Piece of shit gnome can't do anything right. We see some head crabs. Ooh, really scary. Russell seems to think so. Thanks, Russell. I tried to load up some League of Legends on this computer. What a shame, it doesn't work. I think it's for the best, honestly. And then I tried to do it again. Some boxes float around or something along those lines. I don't know. I wasn't fucking listening. I ring a bell. That's cool, I think. I ring a bell. I meet this guy and his head crab. My little critter friend fucking vanishes into thin air mid-alien performance, which actually kind of pissed me off and had me quite confused. The gnome and I kept making our way through the quarantine zone, tactically grabbing a shotgun off of a zombie hanging out of the ceiling. There's a lot of lore in this game, but I won't go over it, so sucks to suck. Finding a brand new friend to bring along the way, and I'm going to call him, let me think, Charles. That's a good name. Now, unfortunately, I hate to break some bad news to you guys. I barely graced some part of my controller which made my computer do this. Yikes, what the fuck, honestly. So for the next 50 minutes of a singular recording session, it's gonna look a little bit low quality. 50 minutes for me, roughly about 2 minutes for you. Let's skip past all 50 minutes and summarize it into about 2 minutes. Starting off with, I robbed a homeless guy for his only source of light and literally pulverized the head crab into next fucking year. I shot some zombies, who would have guessed? I made it through an explosive part where there are a load of explosives. Frankly, I hate this part because it used to crash my computer. I tried upgrading the gnome again to remember that it's less than fucking useless and it doesn't work. So instead, I opt for the next best thing. I put a tactical laser onto my gun just in case I need to shoot my gnome. I got into a shootout with a singular combine who literally did nothing but fucking obliterate my gnome. Poor bastard, I wish I gave him a name, but I don't see him as equals to me. After that really quick endeavor, I got into a fight with a few more combines, and then a few more combines. Wow, there's a lot of combines in the combine related game, who would have gathered? And then I proceed to watch what is easily my favorite scene in this entire game. Shame I didn't fix my recording so it looks better for you guys, but don't worry, I got to experience it in full HD, so... Now, wasn't that absolutely fucking gorgeous? I'm not gonna lie to you guys, if you're under 18, cover your ears, but I think I just half-lifed everywhere. What the fuck does that even mean? Yeah, moving on, I guess. I tried to save Eli.
Okay.
I swear, I really did try. I'm not gonna pick you up. I'm holding the gnome. Have you not seen the title of this video? Have you not? No, I'm not gonna grab your hand. Piss up. No, f you. Unfortunately, he just outright fucking dies and is never heard of again for the rest of the game. Please, source, trust me, I have actually played this game once before. Continuing on from the absolute flusterclock that was my previous recording, it was still time for us to get a move on, because I'd prefer if this video didn't really take 3 hours, but hey, who's to say it won't? Russell informs us on his inability to think about anything other than himself and the Russells.
Well, I hesitate to even bring it up, but I did notice that when you reached out for your father's hand, had he actually grabbed it, his grip would have crushed all the delicate sensors in the Russells.
Which is fine, honestly. I'm not going to lie to you, Russell. I wasn't going to grab him anyway, because I'm all about this gnome and all of that gnome action. Swiftly moving on, the gnome decides it wanted to take a nap somewhere in between my hands and that window, although he overshoots it, and I prank this security guard. I ran into some head crabs, and because I'm an absolute scared little it actually scared me, and I activated my fight or flight response. Which, originally, not gonna lie, was flight. I promise, don't look into it too much. After exiting the elevator, I heard some footsteps in the ceiling above me, and being the only sane person ever to exist, I decided to deal with it in the most humane and appropriate way possible. Russell talks about the big old massive vault floating in the sky like I don't see it, which I take very, very serious, as I do with all things in my life. I return with the keycard and answer the phone that is ringing and perform what is one of the funniest gags known to man. Trust me, it was really funny. I tried to use the gnome as a crowbar again, which still doesn't work, and completely decimate a few zombies. My next idea was to test out to see how blast resistant this gnome is. Turns out not much at all. I see some combine coming towards me and get prepared for the fight of the century. Yep. I shoot and kill some more combines and some more, finally reaching the North Star. And I don't say that much because like I don't really care, but this game is still absolutely gorgeous. It's only been out for what, about 5 years now. Yeah, no, not even that long at all, but it aged like fine wine. And also there's these car windows that are so strong they might as well be Cybertruck windows. Step, row, crack. Close enough. Entering the North Star, we come across a brand new enemy, also known as the Apprentice Sparky. That's what they're called here. That joke is so lame. This headcrab saves the life of a zombie in a way that outshines all of Michael Bay's movies. Did you see that? That was fucking sick. I take my frustration out on the gnome knowing I have to do some quote-unquote puzzles that are coming up. And to calm myself, I play a little bit of piano. Here's 2 songs I like to call Please Don't Sue Me. I'm cracking my fingers to play this absolute fucking tune. You ready? I do this same telephone gag. Wow, how original. Original? Are you How original. And finally get access to the elevator. Not much happens for a while, so I continue my progress on making sure that no one has TVs, because seriously, these guys. Seriously, not much happens up here. Literally not much. This guy's dead.
Agreed.
Anyway, the apprentice Sparky in the roof connects 2 wires with the use of his entire fucking body and is using that newfound energy to outrun me. But unfortunately for him, no matter how much energy you have, you can't stop the subtle force of a fucking shotgun. A couple of rooms later, we run into yet another fucking Sparky. Honestly, these guys are really annoying to fight and I really don't like it, but it doesn't even matter. I showed that little Sparky why humans are and always will be on the top of the food chain. Finally, after killing that Sparky and using its fucking heart to power this slow ass elevator, we're finally making some really good progress. And I mean it, this elevator is slow. The gnome has a little trip and I use the power of friendship to clear the path of zombies. I find myself in what is possibly a nest for headcrabs and decide to lock myself in a room downstairs instead. I find this cool SMG that I put immediately to use. And in my infinite wisdom, I decide to shut off the power to the place I haven't even yet explored to find an exit. That was really good. Good on me. I walk around fighting for my actual fucking life till I finally find an exit. Thank God I finally found one. I was only in there for about 30 minutes. Only to find out I have to kill 2 more electric dog things to progress. Oh my fuck. After killing both puppies for literally no beneficial gain, I finally got to the top of the tower, where I destroyed these things. There's a lot of lore, but I wasn't listening at all. Speaking of lore, this guy does not stop talking about it. Frankly, I'm just gonna speed it all up here. As you can tell, he loves to go on. I get into a shootout instead. Yep, I'm just in a fucking armed battle right now. Using the gnome as a stellar distraction, trust me, it worked. We come across our first trip mine. Ooh, how scary. Which I obviously try to use the gnome to disarm. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, we've been here for ages and I don't even know if I'm halfway through the game or not, so let's just get past all this stuff. I get into a shootout and another one. I use my gnome as a distraction on this combine, get shit on. I watch some cable snap and get into yet another fight. I temporarily lose my gnome in a freak accident involving me, a trip mine and my gnome, who would have guessed, and get absolutely fucking eviscerated by even more explosives. Finally making it through the explosive room with no hiccups, by the way, I watch as Russell's newly fixed drone gets quick scoped off of a BO2 carrier trick shot. Entering the distillery to smash bottles and take in the view, I come across this guy who teaches us about a very chill guy named Jeff. Now, Jeff can't see, and honestly, I'd make a very funny joke about that, but I don't like jokes about the blind, because the poor bastards never see it coming. That's fucking stupid. I tricked Jeff and the rest of his 13 IQ into being locked into a freezer, allowing me to try open this elevator door. Unfortunately, the elevator doesn't open. How convenient. Which ultimately makes me release Jeff from his internal prison. Finding myself in an elevator with Jeff, what a turn of events by the way, I ponder the fragility of life itself, as Jeff demonstrates what second-degree murder is. I find myself at 3 separate power stations in need of batteries, which I was really thrilled about by the way, so I just skipped over me having to actually grab them because frankly this video has already lost all of its audience attention. Jeff messes with my brand new toy, which I personally don't take too kindly, so in retaliation I fucking crush him in a trash compactor. Finding myself in what looks to be a zoo, we learn about these new enemies called Thank you, Russell. What are you, 12? And here is a head crab stuck in a display. That's literally all I've written down for my notes, so thanks, past me. I find myself doing a puzzle that activates some tripwires by a main door. But hey, at least there's nothing alive to walk through it to set them off, right? I swiftly get my revenge on that exact zombie and play with the toy tiger. After that, I watch as these combines tactically forget about tripwires. Like, could they not see the big I watch what is yet again another gorgeous scene unfold in front of me as the vault is saved by a beam of light. Nice. But it's okay, this gorgeous cutscene was instantly followed up by the recreation of Call of Duty Ghost Extinction. Shit, man, that's a good reference. Damn. I watched some lore stuff. As you guys know, I'm not listening anyway, so I have to shoot my way out. Here's these newer and cooler ant lions that are blue instead of orange or something along those lines. I don't know, I don't really care. I kill these two combines who most likely aren't a part of any sort of army or government and that they're just two janitors trying to make a minimum wage, and find myself in a massive open area with a bunch of leggies as it is. I tried to run past them without doing any shooting, which didn't really work out too well. Making it past the absolute war zone that I was just in, I find myself coming up to the controls of whatever was holding up the vault. I put my gnome down to get some ammo and health because I'm low on all of those, which by the way is relevant, I swear, keep up with me here, and make my way to the vault. Here's yet again another beautiful scene. I don't know if the entire thing will be left in because we are really running short on time here and I need to try keep all the attention I possibly can. The fucking gnome. Hey, I told you it was relevant. So I went back and grabbed the gnome and yet again watched the exact same vault crash. I'm sure I won't be having to watch this 400 times. But as fate would have it, it still didn't spawn in my hands. So I don't know, I just tried again, this time holding it with both my hands. Didn't work. Which sucks, and honestly if you look it up, there are people that have had the exact same problem. Nevertheless, I had to give up and call it here. Psych, I can't believe you believe that. I've been playing this game for well over 5 hours just to get this single achievement. Of course I'm gonna do it, okay?
There he is! Yes! Shit.
After all the attempts I did, the gnome finally spawned and I was so grateful. Finally, it was time to finish this, whatever you want to call this. A strider comes to life and engages in what might be the most cinematic showdown in the history of gaming as a whole. But unfortunately, this video is already 20 minutes long or close to, and I really don't want to keep it all in or even go over it, I'm not going to lie to you. So eventually we just shoot it with a really big cannon. So, yeah. But hey, none of that matters because we're all here for this.
Got it. Whoa, yeah, okay. I'm going up.
Throwing off a lot of interference. I might not be able to talk to you in there.
No, probably not.
So, this is it.
Yeah.
And then you'll come out with quarters and sound. So, everything is going to be...
Hey, it's me again. Thank you all so much for watching this absolute monstrosity of a video. I really hope you enjoyed the new editing style and stuff, because I mean, it was a lot more fun to edit this video than it was to edit probably all of my other videos combined. Hey, if you like the new style, let me know in the comments or something, I don't know, man. With all that said and done, yeah, have a good day.